Hopefully. Hello, beautiful party people. How are we going? How are we getting on? I have a success story, and you're gonna love it. And I am excited. And I am still congested.
And you gave it to me, huh?
That was a byproduct.
Byproduct?
That was a byproduct of this situation, which is funny because, no, I mean, not to be rude to you, but were you really, like, you weren't super close to me or taking care of me. Like, you were still working. So I don't know, like, how you got it.
I was still working, but I think what happened when I took some of your acai bowl the other day.
You still got that in your head.
I really don't, because obviously I don't, because I'm sick.
Oh, God. I don't know if it was the acai bowl.
I mean, we are around each other.
That I understand.
Germs Trammell, you should know you're a doctor.
Wow. I know that.
You should know that you study medicine.
No, I do know that. It's not like I'm not taking accountability. I'm just trying to say, like,
germs travel.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, like, it's not like you were waiting on me.
No.
It's not like you were serving me.
That's not true.
What did you serve me other than a headache? Other than a headache.
Your lovely coffee every morning.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to interact with me. You just give me a clean cup.
Okay, but still.
Oh my God. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Hi, guys. How are we going? This is a beautiful evening. We have an amazing success story. Please do share this out to you guys as friends. Please like it up like crazy. We have a live interview success story going on, and this is going to be repurposed on YouTube, so it's going to be really funny to see how people comment on this. I am just still recovering from my little bit of illness, and me and my mother were having a discussion regarding it. So, how are we doing? How is everything happening? I am going to have one of my king and queen clients come on. She's going to call me in just a moment here, and we're going to talk about her success as she's been progressing through this package. She has not fully completed the package, and she's also decided to extend it for 2 more months because she's been really getting a lot out of it, and she's really been, just doing her work, putting her head down, running her race, doing her work. So she is manifesting an SP. She is manifesting things within social media, and she is manifesting money. And she has a lot of money. I'm talking about money in the tens of thousands that have poured into her life. She has been getting friendships, reconciliations from out of the blue. She has been getting a lot of SP confirmations. She's just been the person that's like manifesting the most. I've never seen somebody take this program of mine, the King and Queen package, and run their race as eloquently as she has. As soon as we find that problem, she's just immediately going into working mode. She is doing the King and Queen package. So I am going to let her give me a call, and we are going to interview her. And if you guys have any comments or any questions, you're more than capable of asking her. And we're going to have a really good time in this live. So let's let her talk about her situation. Hi, Jasmine. Hey, hon, how are you?
Good. How are you? Are you feeling a little bit better?
I did take some decongestant. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. And I feel a bit better, yes. Not everybody always asks about me, so thank you for asking about me.
Oh my gosh, I know. During our call earlier, you sounded a little congested still, so I'm happy you're, resting up, doing a little bit better.
Yeah. So, hello, beautiful people that are coming in. So I have one of my King and Queen clients here on the call, and we're going to do like a little interview with her. She came into this program manifesting a lot of different things, honestly, and we've been working on her self-concept. We've been working on her conception of other people, and she has been just getting a lot of things going on. Like, she's been getting people come in. It's like, it reminds me of that song, like, it's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. She's had gentlemen approach her in, I think, a party or a club. Like, she's got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff. But I'm going to let her talk. I'm going to let her kind of take the floor. And as you guys have any types of questions, you're capable of commenting it down below. And we'll just let her see, what she's been getting out of this King and Queen package. We now have an additional 2 more months together, which is really fun. Because I don't even know what the hell we're going to unlock in these extra 2 months. That is going to be insane. But yeah, I'm going to let you talk and I'm going to be quiet.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, first of all, thank you so much to you for having me on, and thank you for everybody else that's listening. Would you suggest, what exactly would you want me to start with? Should I just give like a general background of my story and then hop into my time working with you, or is there something specific that you wanted me to touch up on?
So, good question. I would say that why don't we just start with where you were when you were coming to me? What were your goals? And then how did things start to come in line in terms of, as we started to work together after that and work through our package, what was coming in, what was working, what were the breakthroughs we were having, what are some stuff that came through in forms of manifestations, and just kind of give, I guess, more of a natural timeline of what's been happening with us.
Okay, I mean, if it's okay with you, it might all be out of order. Sometimes my thoughts kind of jabble up.
Go for it.
Get excited. But to where I was at prior to working with Persis. So I want to say I found Persis maybe 2 months ago, or maybe a little bit over 2.5 months ago, somewhere on my TikTok For You page. And I mean, before I hop into my success stories, I do want to say, because I was the person, like, I would watch all of Persis's success stories on YouTube, like start to finish, even if it was like an hour and 30 minutes, I would watch all of it. And as someone who's had like law of attraction experience and different coaches before, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't know if anybody watching this has felt this way, but just to be completely transparent, I would be guilty of watching these stories and kind of roll my eyes a bit, or I would like hear these things and I'm like, well, maybe they're just in a better position, or maybe they're lucky. And to give some background on me, just in case anybody else might be in the same boat, even if it's just one person, and Persis knows this, I'm someone who suffered from, unfortunately, a lot of childhood trauma, teenage trauma growing up. And, obviously I don't want to ruin the mood and get too into it, but I have had a lot of financial struggles, and a lot of things happened to me that really affected my self-worth and made me believe, in the law of attraction community prior to going into law of assumption, that these people are just lucky, or this is not real, right? Like, I have unfortunately been SA'd growing up, watched our houses get taken away, seen my mother slave away for money. I've done dangerous things to get money as a teen. And, again, not to bring the mood down, but I just want to kind of give an outline where I was at, because once I met Persis, digitally met Persis, I guess.
Right.
It was almost like all of those doubts and all of those feelings of like, oh, this can't happen for me, or oh, those people are lucky. Like, it all disappeared and it all went away. So I just wanted to start off with that, just in case, any of you guys are listening. And, because even as I say these success stories, and I was kind of writing out some notes for myself to say, I was writing it and I was like, I can't believe I'm writing this. Like, this does not even seem real. So just wanted to start off with that. That's kind of where I was at prior to working with Persis, to answer your question. Just a little bit doubtful. I really had to push myself to believe in this work, even though I did have, some knowledge on Dr. Joe Dispenza and manifesting in the past. And I feel like maybe I was just 25% there until I met Persis. So going into my work with her, and if at any time you want to chime in, Persis, and give your input, please do.
Got it.
But I started out just doing her free teachings. And I've seen her videos and she talks about this all the time. She always says, like, if you can't, like, you don't need coaching. Like, a lot of my free work can already do so much for you. And I 100% agree, because I started off just doing her free teachings. I believe it was one of her playlists. It was the manifestation equation. And then, I mean, if you're a little bit of an overachiever like me, or I don't even like saying this out loud, but I get a little impatient sometimes. So I was like, I want more. So then I seen some small shifts with that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to test it out. And I'll do the manifestation blueprint, which is it's the self-paced course that she has for sale on her site. So literally just 2 days after doing Persis' self-paced course, I already seen movement. And I'm going to kind of go through these out of order because, again, This is so much. Please chime in if I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. Go for it. Like, you've literally accomplished so much. So this is going to be like a long list. We're going to list out a novel here pretty soon, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Yes, it is very, very long. So I think I'll just kind of break it up into categories maybe and start with the manifestation blueprint. So this was kind of how I got a taste, I guess you can say, of Persis' teachings and just her communication style, the way that she wrote the course and the way that she speaks to me in her King and Queen package, which is the one that I got, is very similar. So just wanted to put that out there just in case, someone might not be in the position to get, jump all the way in right away. She has so many options for you. And secondly, so I started seeing movement literally 2 days after that. And then 8 days after doing that blueprint, I literally received 2 work offers that day. Like, I woke up to my emails and I already had like a $6,500 one plus, I think, a $2,000 one. So $8,500 just like that. And then I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, something's working, but I still had a little bit of doubts. Then another day went by. And again, this is prior to, or I think when this day happened, it was like 2 days after I got Persis' King and Queen package. But it's kind of the way I like to look at it is like I was also doing the work prior. So I'd like to say that because we were just testing out the waters for those 2 days, but I was already doing her self-paced course, and I got another $10,000 and another $8,000, and then I had another day where I got another $8,000 offer. So I want to say, if I do the math correctly, that's about $34,500 in 1 month. As a 23-year-old, just to put that, or I'm so sorry, I'm 24 now. I just turned 24 and I'm still not used to saying it, but $34,000 just through Persis' teachings. And just a disclaimer.
Off a $99 course.
Right. And just to give some more input, just in case, because I know some people might be like, well, what did you get the money for? I am a full-time content creator. I guess it falls under the freelancing category. I've been doing this for about 4 years. So I feel like my old self listening to this would probably argue like, oh, well, she's in an industry where she's able to do this. But prior to working with Persis, I've been doing all of the law of attraction stuff. I've been, listening to like videos every day, and none of them were working. So it was kind of like all of my desires that I've been working towards all fell in at once the second I started doing Persis' teachings. Because yes, while I am in a position and in an industry to be able to unlock these offers, there would be like 4 or 5 months where I wouldn't make anything.
And listen, girl, I just want to interject for a very quick moment because you're making a good point, and literally you just said what I was about to say. It doesn't matter that she is an influencer, because there are a lot of influencers that make diddly squat. There's a lot of influencers that make nothing. So remember, mindset is key to any business, whether that's being an influencer, whether that's being an entrepreneur, whether that's being even a stay-at-home mom and creating an idea and starting an at-home business, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in insurance, whether that's in anything. Mindset is key for anything, because she could have also, without finding my teachings and maybe just being in the law of attraction community, thinking that this is like, maybe just luck or something of that nature. She could have just allowed the rolling of the dice to dictate her future. But something about it kind of captured her eye or captured her interest for whatever reason. And she played with it and she experimented with it, and she did the blueprint. She put her head down. She ran her course. She did maybe some of the affirmations or techniques released in there. And $34,000, even as an influencer, is quite a decent sum of money. Like, that's money that some people take months and months and months to earn. But that money, please understand, was only accessible because she also unlocked her money blockages. I don't think she would have had the same type of result if she just would have stayed stagnant and stayed still in those beliefs and didn't change them. Because it's not like people that just make an influencer account tomorrow just also get $34,000. Like, that's not part of our welcoming package. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to say that. Please keep going.
Yes, and I feel like you articulated it perfectly, way better than I could have. So thank you so much for chiming in.
Yeah.
Like Persis said, I mean, I was working, I feel like, I don't know how long, but there would be, 5 months where I wouldn't get anything. So for me, I know maybe from an outsider's perspective, it's like, oh, well, of course she got that. But it's like, I've been trying so hard with all of these different techniques and none of them were working till I got with Persis. And even, it's funny because as we did the King and Queen package, I originally was looking for my SP. But in my situation, it is a little bit different because I'm not necessarily looking for another partner because I do actually have a partner. I was just really, as silly as it sounds and as embarrassing as it is, I was looking for a best friend. So we were working on, fixing the worthiness that I have in relation to attracting a really good best friend. And as we were doing that, that's when I was getting all of these money offers. So I find it so funny, and Persis says this all the time. It's like, kind of, I don't know if it was you or my partner, because my partner does the work also, but it was one of you guys that did the example of the faucet, where if it was like a drain, but like the drain had multiple like holes, if that makes sense. And it was almost like by me putting in water in one belief, it watered everything. So even though me and Persis, I'm over here telling her like, when is my best friend coming? Like, I'm looking at all these things. I'm still unblocking all of these work opportunities because I think you've said this, like, it's not just one size fits all, or I'm not quite sure how to articulate it, but it's like this work really does help in all areas of your life. Yeah. Sometimes even on autopilot when you just go in and do it, even if you think it's for a different assumption.
Yeah. I mean, just to chime in for a quick second, yeah, I think your partner used the spout reference, but I like that. And I think I might steal that from your partner. I like that a lot. But what I was referencing is that in many instances, people might come into my world for an SP or for something of that nature. But then when they do self-concept work, because a lot of people's problems in 90% of instances are not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling chosen, any one of these self-concept wounds individually could be clogging up and or blocking up multiple areas of your life. So I'll give you an example. Let's just take a singular blockage that somebody has of not being worthy. Not being worthy can push out in your reality in no matter what you do for your family members, it's never good enough because you're not worthy. It can also push out in the fact of your partner undervaluing you. Why? Because you're not worthy. It can also push out in the form of your job undercutting you. Why? Because you're not worthy. It can also push out in the form of your friends occasionally ghosting you and not including you in social gatherings. Why? Because you're not worthy. So by you focusing even on a singular self-concept gap, it has the ability to literally nourish so many areas of your life. And what people find is that even as they do this work, they also end up manifesting money as a byproduct, or they also end up feeling more confident in their body and what they offer as a byproduct, because worthiness ends up now watering all those plants individually. Now imagine if you have multiple self-concept wounds and or gaps, you know what I mean? How much you're actually replenishing yourself at a foundational core level to literally like bloom like a flower. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're so good. And it's crazy because as you're saying this, like, it's making me think like, wow, like we were only really working on career, the aspect of my career, like towards, I want to say the last quarter of it. So so just to summarize, a lot of that was manifested, I guess you can say unconsciously, or just, as I was focusing on manifesting my best friend. So again, more stuff came after that with Persis, and I would always send her every single one. I would always write it down, and it literally got to a point where all of the success I was experiencing and all the shifts in my 3D were so much that I kind of got like used to it, I guess, to where I just stopped writing it down. Because at first I would get so excited to text her, and then now I'm just like, oh, well, of course that happened. Like, this work is so powerful, right? So, like, for example, there was Persis helped me with one affirmation, with a couple of affirmations in terms of career. And then I think I texted her a week after, and I was like, hey, look. And then I sent her a screenshot, and it was so cool because, I mean, I have like the 9-day analytics right here. I'm not sure what the 1 week one was, but right here it says within 9 days, my channel got 8.7 million views, 100K profile, 124K profile views, nearly 10,000 comments, 89,000, almost 90,000 shares. And now it's at 16 million with just 6 videos posted. And each video is only like 50 seconds. And again, I have already been in this industry, but I've been striving for these numbers. And again, it's more than numbers, but I've been striving for this kind of recognition and success for so long. And, you know, it's like no coincidence that after Persis helped me identify like exactly what the problem was, it all flooded in.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, like I would get these numbers similar before, but it was always through me like putting in so much work. And it was like almost a lot of like very strenuous on my mental health almost, because I would think, oh, I need to buy all these props, or I need to invest in all these excursions so people can see it, or it needs to be really savable. And to be transparent, all of these videos were just of me having fun and being myself. And I think that's, again, going back to Persis's or my partner's like little, what is it? The faucet.
The faucet, yeah, with the multiple holes in it.
Yeah, so it's like just me feeling worthy enough. I'm not surprised that I attracted these experiences where people are watching my page and they're like, oh, and now I'm like, okay, I don't need to like book $1,000 trips in order to make travel content. Like I'm, you know, I can just sit here and just talk about my life and talk about the things that I like. So Persis really helped me with attaining that.
People love you just for you being you. You know what I mean? And your page and your career is flourishing just by you being you.
Yes, absolutely. And did you still want me to continue? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm here. I'm listening. We're all listening.
Okay, because I'm just not sure how long these typically are, so I don't want to like talk your ear off.
No, go ahead. You can go in bullet point form also if you want. I mean, it's up to you. And if you guys have any kinds of questions or anything like that, please do put them down in the comments. And why don't you kind of go into like rapid fire mode and like see, like, why don't you list out some of the stuff that has come through maybe? So that way people can see like how powerful the program has been for you.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Gosh, there's so many. Okay.
She goes, there's so many. It's so cute. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, because it's so much. I'm just like, I don't know like how to do this. But after 2 days of doing Persis's work, right, again, just to manifest getting a best friend. But all of these like suitors came up to me, right? So I was out just 2 days after doing her self-paced course. A guy's like, he like shoves like past my friend and he's like, oh, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever laid my eyes on. Like, I just had to tell you. And like, I don't know, I'm not used to like that stuff happening in public, so that was very like scary, or not scary, but just new to me. And then for a work event that I did, everybody was like looking at me, and I remember even getting a little like my conscious mind was a little mad at first. I was telling my partner like, oh my gosh, everybody's staring at me, like, is my outfit bad? And then a guy comes up to me and then he's like, he comes up to my partner and he's like, man, I just have to tell you, sir, she is so stunning. Like, all of my friends were like looking at her and we were staring at her during the reception earlier. And I just had to tell you, like, you're so lucky. Like, wow, she's so beautiful. But the catch is later during that work event, I guess he's an Oscar winner, because they said, oh, we have some, Oscar winners in the crowd, or there's something, like they were like past cast members of the show. And then like they were like, can you guys all stand up? And then I was like telling my boyfriend, I was like, wait, that's the guy right there that came up to you. Like, I guess he's an Oscar winner. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, so okay, that's cool. An added bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Persis said, even more and more and more like guys coming up to me, like, which I'm so not used to. Like, this guy that was like up on stage for one of the events, he literally like locked his eyes on me and like was like dead in his tracks, and like he like shoved past so many girls, kind of like a movie where like his eyes were just like illuminated on me, and he pushed through all of them just come up to me to talk to me. And then another guy was like begging me, he was like, please, like, just give me the opportunity to get to know you, like, please let me buy you a drink, like anything. And I was like, no. And then I walked away. But yeah, like those are some of like the love aspects of it, I guess. And I mean, I've manifested a whole new friend group. They all aligned with my values, healthier life in general. I had insomnia for 2 months. These are like the smaller things. I've had insomnia for months. I would wake up past 2 p.m. Now I don't have that. I wake up at like 6 a.m. for my workout classes every day. There was one funny thing I texted Persis where I've been saying I'm an instant manifester. That's like my new favorite one.
Yeah.
And I think another one was my subconscious mind so easily accepts my new affirmations as a fact, no matter how many limiting beliefs I have, and no matter how many negative thoughts I have. Kind of a long one, but I started saying that one. And the other day I wanted a picture frame, a 24 by 30 picture frame, and then some dumbbell weights, 10-pound dumbbell weights. And I stared at my air fryer and I was like, oh shoot, it's getting rusty. I need to get a new air fryer. Lo and behold, I was walking through my apartment and I see the picture frame, because there's like people who give stuff away for free. There's the exact picture frame size I want, the exact pound of dumbbells I want, and then I got sent an air fryer. That was the exact brand of my air fryer. So even though those are like smaller things, it just goes to show like you're like, as you get more into the work, especially like with the King and Queen package, like so many funny and like cool things start to happen. And yeah, I think that's pretty much sums up the success story so far.
And I mean, this is like, and not to mention also the $34,000 and the more money that is to come and the social media growth and stuff like that. Like, you have really gotten the most out of this type of work, because it's like, for her specifically, and she does have a bit of a limiting belief, although I am trying to rewire that out of her, that she has a bit of a limiting belief that it's like, once I know the specific limiting belief, then I can do my routine and the whole manifestation unlocks. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get what you mean, because in all honesty, I get it. I get you, okay, but like not fully. See, the thing is this. In many instances, like I mentioned before, an I'm not worthy or maybe an I'm not good enough wound can push out in like a quintuplet amount of different ways. That's why my not worthy wound is different from your not worthy wound, which is different from your not worthy wound, which is different from someone else's. And my not worthy wound may push out in the fact that no matter what I do for my parents, it's not good enough. Your not worthy wound may push out in your job undercutting you. So everybody, we're all here on earth having a human experience. So in some instances, that's kind of how I exactly teach my manifestation blueprint. My manifestation blueprint is literally like what I teach in my coaching, what I teach in my courses, what I teach in everything, because it has gotten everybody and their mother success. Because I do firmly stand true in the fact that when you know the limiting belief that is holding you back, either on your side of the fence, your self-concept, or either on their side of the fence, which is the concept of the person, place, or thing, things open up. And the blessings come through and the manifestations come through, and it is just raining onto you. And if you think about that logically, it makes a ton of sense. Because if you have a limiting belief and you're capable of countering that limiting belief and you're capable of problem solving that limiting belief, well, the whole name of the game is law of assumption. And we're not really working on the assumptions that are working in our favor. We're working on the assumptions that are not in our favor, that are blocking us from getting what we want. So the dam is capable of opening once you're able to get to that blockage and unclog that route. Does that make sense, guys? And in some instances, what she's saying is actually completely pinpoint spot on, because that's literally how my entire page has had success. It's problem solving your blockages, problem solving your gaps, counter affirming them, changing the narratives, changing the stories, creating assumptions that actually work for you instead of against you, and then having your desires. Like, that's my whole page. That's my whole business. That's my whole teaching premise in my courses, in my personal coaching, in each and every single thing. And at the end of the day, if you're capable of taking that and applying it in your life, she started with free teachings. She went into Manifestation Blueprint. From Manifestation Blueprint, she just went straight into the King and Queen package. And now we have one more week in our present package, and then she decided to get like, I guess you could say basically like 2 more king and queen packages, like 2 months, because we're moving at such a rapid rate. And we're going to be working on expanding, her financial goals, making that consistent, and allowing things to continue to flow in. But everybody's ability to be successful is literally at the exact same level as her. It's all about getting to the nuts and bolts and figuring out, what am I not fully on board with? What am I not fully on board with? Where are my limiting beliefs? Where am I limiting myself? Where am I having fear blocking me? And being in that type of situation where you take it, you counter it, and you just go ham on it. You put your head down and you run your race. Because the people that get the most out of any type of package, even if you can't get the king and queen package, there are other individuals that work with my parents, that they have very affordable packages. There are other people that buy smaller packages. The thing is, for some people, and I'm not saying this for everybody, people get coaching like maybe once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime. So there are some people that are just really willing to go all in because they see it as an investment in their own emotional fulfillment. They're like, I haven't had love. This is what I want. This is what's going to make me happy. I don't have money. I need money. This is what's going to fulfill me. If I understand this information, if I apply it, then at the end of the day, I'm actually getting a skill set that can last me a lifetime. So that's where a lot of people kind of come into my world, is you're honestly working with me or my family for the knowledge that you're capable of unlocking, and to have someone do that kind of nitty-gritty work for you. Would you agree with that, Alyssa?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just sitting back and I'm in awe with everything you're saying, and I completely agree. I mean, for me also, like, I feel like at this point, I just wanted to add on to your last statement.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, am pretty knowledgeable when it comes to work, but the thing is with me, it's like, yeah, I can have all the knowledge I want, but if I don't know exactly what's wrong that I'm doing, and then like, I like the quote that person said during our call earlier, it was like, the reason why therapists have therapists, right? It's like, you can be like as knowledgeable as you want in this work, but sometimes you need another person to kind of like figure out what you're doing that's wrong. For example, not to get into details, but during our call today, I was like telling her my problems, and I was like, I think it's this. And she was like, yeah, kind of, maybe like 25% that, but I also think it's this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was right in front of my face. And it was like, the second she said it, it made so much sense. And now I know what to work on. And it's like, I think personally, everybody, gets coaching for different reasons. Maybe they know nothing about this work and they just want to, have an expedited way of learning it faster. Or maybe they already do know about this work, but they're in my boat where they know it, but like, they still need a little bit of added help or accountability in place also. Like, I genuinely think if I didn't have coaching, and I'm hoping maybe after the 2-month mark I can change this because we did do another package, but I feel like I wouldn't show up every day. Or, well, that's not true. I'll give myself some credit. I would show up every day, but maybe not to this full capability, I guess you can say, because working with Persis, I know in the back of my head, I'm like, well, she's there, that's my coach. Like, I also don't want to let her down. And
accountability partner.
Right. An accountability partner, especially in my field of work where you are your own boss. I don't have anybody really telling me like, hey, you need to wake up at this time, but having a coach and having kind of not necessarily a boss, but just, an accountability partner. It's the same reason why basketball players, NBA players, they're so good. Like, they're like the top of the best, right? But it's like, they still have a coach. Like, they still have the coach at the day, even though they're so good at it. They need someone while they're playing to have an outsider's point of view to be like, like, well, you did this 3-pointer this way. I don't really know sports, so maybe you can give a better example. But
I love that you used an NBA reference, because that's what we used on our call, and I'm such an NBA junkie. Oopsies. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like every coach needs a coach. And at the end of the day, sometimes getting an outside, zoomed out perspective is exactly what you need to kind of set you straight. For the individuals that are mentioning, Persis, I can't afford the King and Queen package, what do you recommend? like I think she mentioned very elegantly, there are a lot of people that just get results based on my free teachings. There are individuals even today that I went onto my Facebook and I opened it up, and in my Persistence of Resistance course, which is actually a course, we're going to go live again tomorrow for anybody who may be interested in that. That is a course that's mainly focused on EFT tapping, breath work, and releasing traumatic emotions and experiences from the body to make manifestation a lot easier, a lot lighter, a lot more doable, and to break the subconscious limiting beliefs that you may have as it is tied to your manifestation. I have individuals waking up in that group that are saying things like, I love this course so much. I'm on the second training. I already noticed a difference in my mindset and I've gained so much confidence in myself and my manifestations. I can't wait to see where I'll be when I complete this course. This course has helped me out so much with my depression. It might actually be gone one day and I might not require medication anymore. So there's people that get success like just free teachings, manifestation blueprint, an introductory package with me, a full king and queen package, group courses. There is such an overabundance of knowledge on my page. Nobody's capable of coming to my page and not learning anything, because I lead with the fact that I am an educator first. Because for me, my goal within my page is to teach you to be the most knowledgeable person in the entire world. I want you to have like a PhD level of proficiency in this manifestation game. And I feel like that's what makes me stand out from other people is, in my humble opinion, and I've said this from day one, they have that quote where it's like, if you give a man a fish, he'll come back to you tomorrow and ask you for another fish. But if you teach a man to fish, you've given him the skills that can last a lifetime for him to provide for himself. My coaching is geared around teaching you how to fish, teaching you how this law works, teaching you how to problem solve your own areas, your own gaps, so that you can apply this with your own sincerity in your own due time and be successful. Like, that is my entire business. It's teaching people how to fish. It's the ability for her to call me and us to have a call today, or send me a voice memo, or send me some text messages and be like, I'm struggling in this area. What do I do? This is bothering me right here. What do I do in this situation? Can you give me some more clarity around this? Well, how does this actually happen? And then my mother, my father, me, whoever it is that you guys are working with goes bam, 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 bam. This is the issue. This is the problem. This is the doubt. This is the worry. And this is how we're going to flip it. And it's like, okay, now what's the problem? And then the other person is just sitting there like, well, I guess I don't have a problem now. I just have work to do. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, okay, so that's just all then. I guess that's what I have to do. Because at the end of the day, I promise you, the only way we can go forward is to stop looking backward. We can't go forward if we're still looking behind us. Like, that won't be a way that we can actually go forward. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. Like, some thoughts that popped up as you were saying that was, and I'm sorry if I was laughing when you said the fish thing. It's because I've watched so many of Persis's little lives, and I love how you always go back to that analogy. Yeah. Because I don't know, I think it's so cute. But some thoughts that were popping up as you were saying that is like, yes, like I truly do believe if I had just stuck with the free teachings, I honestly do think I would have gotten this regardless. It just, maybe it would have taken me a little bit longer, and that's okay. And, that's not the case for everybody. Like, I just had beliefs that I couldn't identify and I wanted help with it. But it doesn't mean that someone else who might be on a different path or might have a little bit more knowledge on this work, like maybe for them, they would, like, for example, I think it was like 4.5 million. Like, she didn't get coaching, right?
No, she did not. She just used my free teachings, my $4.65 million. Yeah, that girl, right? You're referring to her? Yeah, she just got an acting contract based off my free teachings, $4.65 million. And what we're doing is exactly what she's doing in my money workshop as well. So anybody that wants to do money, we're going to be breaking down that manifestation equation in that money workshop. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was basically it. Yeah, so just to reassure some people, because, I do understand, and growing up in a low income household, like, even like the start of my career, I would look at, I guess you can say, my coworkers or the other people in my industry, and I would have a lot of thoughts of like, well, they're privileged. I'm a person of color. Well, they're white passing or whatever. Like, they have certain privileges that I don't, right? And it's like, as I'm getting more into this work, it's like, I do understand that there is bigotry in the world, and there's so many different issues, and, it might be harder for others or whatever, but it's like, as I'm going through this work with Persis, I'm really able to kind of silence those pieces of my mind that like really just stem from unworthiness at the end of the day, if that makes sense. And it's like, I feel like I really would have gotten the same results with the free teachings, but Persis really helped me stay on track, I guess, because there were certain issues that I was like, oh, I made this realization, and I feel like I am, pretty knowledgeable in the work now. I'm like, I made this realization, I think this is the problem. And she's like, maybe not. And, that maybe expedited the success a little bit faster, which I like. But again, I feel like the $4.6 million success story is more than enough. Like the fact that she
more than
got
enough
that
validation, yeah.
Is very telling. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there for anyone who is a little discouraged or hesitant to start on the work. Like, just start with the free teachings.
So another question we have here is, what techniques do you like to use, or what techniques did you use to get the success?
So I would say in the beginning, when I was doing the free teachings and the manifestation blueprint, I texted this to Persis. At first, the second I woke up, I already had Persis's subliminals playing. So I had the self-love affirmations, and I had the, I think it was the winning in life subliminal, and I just made it in a playlist, and I put it on loop, so it would just play throughout the night. And then the second I woke up, I was already listening to that, so I would kind of mentally repeat it in my head, and then I would put it on pause, and then pull out the personal affirmations that Persis had planned for me. And I did add my own here and there whenever I felt like it was necessary, or I would just, switch out some words with whatever felt right. But I would then read my affirmations, and I will be honest, I feel like my affirmations are so long. Like, if I sit down and I do it really slowly. Yeah, it's like, if I sit down and do it really slowly, it's for like 25 minutes that I'm speaking. If I can speed through it, then maybe like 10 minutes. But yeah. I like to do like EFT tapping while I'm doing it, and sometimes like interject and say like other things that come up in my mind. But that's my morning routine. I would do the affirmations, and then in the beginning, I would go right into my closet because it's quiet and I have dogs and they like to bark and bother me. But I would go right into my closet, shut it off, wrap a blanket around me, and then I would go into meditation to visualize. And I will say, now that I'm in the King and Queen package, I kind of enjoy how Persis says you can create your own set of rules. So kind of like everybody has their own set of beliefs and own set of manifestation rules. And one thing that my partner said that I really liked is he likes to call it like, just hack your rule set, right? So for example, in the beginning, I used to think like, okay, for example, like I used to think in order to get these numbers on social media or get these brand deals on social media, I need to post like a certain amount a day. Or what's a better example? Like, the travel thing. Like, I need to go on these excursions. Mm-hmm. So I would think, okay, how can I manifest more excursions? And then he'd be like, no, why don't you just hack your mind into believing that you don't need that? So I kind of did that same technique, and what Persis says, creating your own rules, by telling my mind that all I really need to manifest is affirmations. And I did watch, because Persis recommended him Simple Manifesting or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, yeah, he's great too. He said, I think he said, like, you technically, if you're bad at visualizing, which I felt like I kind of was in the beginning, all you really need is affirmations. Because when you say an affirmation, or for example, if I'm out in public and I hear someone say Persis, my mind is going to instantly create an image in my head of what Persis looks like. So it's like your mind is already creating a visualization for you, even if you don't fully see it. So after finding that out, I was like, okay, I feel like the meditating, like I still do meditate, but just not as frequently. I was like, I'm going to just tell my mind affirmations are more than enough. So long story short, now I really do just stick to affirmations and doing different techniques within the affirmations. Like, I think, yeah, he's great too. He said, Angry Affirming, which Persis also has a video on, where I'm like borderline screaming it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I do this. I'm happy. I'm naturally happy. I do that, and I mean, I'm just always watching her videos to look for new things. But at the current moment, it's really the subliminals and the affirmations, and just hacking my mind into thinking like, one that I really like is like, it doesn't matter how many limiting beliefs I have, I'm still capable of manifesting. I don't need to do years of shadow work to manifest.
Exactly.
And little things like that expedite the process. Like, I'm a quick manifester and instant manifester. I believe that I can manifest out of thin air. And I feel like that, like, which I think you used to say, like, that's the base of the house, right? Like your manifestation ability.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I really for a while just worked on like really strengthening that, so I would spend more time on my manifestation ability, just getting my mind to believe like, oh, I can manifest in the first place, because it doesn't really matter if I keep saying I'm happy. If my mind doesn't believe I can even manifest, then it's like, it's not going to happen. So I really worked on the manifestation ability. And yeah, sorry, very long answer, but mainly affirmations.
No, it's okay. And it's funny because even as you say that, I think somebody, because I see like my little notifications go off like as we're talking, I think somebody else literally just got the blueprint based on your recommendations, or a couple of people got the blueprint based on your recommendations. And I think another one might have even gotten one of my money courses that is coming up. But listen, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it does not have to take long. And she's making very, very eloquent points that I want to re-articulate, that I've said before and that I will continue to say until everybody's ears start to bleed. It doesn't need to take years of healing your inner child or going through shadow work to be able to get you meaningful and profound results. I am a prime example of it. She's a prime example of it. I saw a couple of my other king and queen clients, ironically enough, in the chat today, like Jasmine and individuals of that nature. They are prime examples of it. They are literally a walking success story because of the fact that they took these teachings, and people are capable of having success literally at all levels. And there are some people, guys, that never work with me, just eventually DM me, maybe over on Instagram or maybe somewhere on email or something, and they're like, oh my goodness, you've changed my life. You have no idea. Like, people before were like mean and taunting me, and now they're like worshiping the ground I walk on. Like, that was my most recent Instagram DM, and I put it in one of my videos because I was like, this is amazing. Like, this work is sincerely life-changing, provided you take the knowledge and you just run with it. You just apply it in the way that you need it to be. As it pertains to her, I think because somebody's asking about time frame, she got results very, very quickly. Like, the first one was 2 days, then 8 days. Then I think right now we're at 30 days. Like, in the first 2 days, she got a $6,500 job offer, then a $2,000, then a 10, then an 8, then another 8. So that has all been coming in progressively, and even her other results were coming in progressively. Am I correct on that?
Yes, the timing, so I got the 6.5. Honestly, the timing is like really off for me, but I do say it was 8 days into it. The money was coming in, but even I was getting a lot of offers even just before we started coaching.
Yeah.
So, but I want to say total in terms of timing, I was doing Persis's work, I think September. Oh, yeah, it's September 22nd, because I remember on the 22nd of October, I meant to text you, but I forgot. I just wanted to be
okay.
like my month anniversary of working with your teachings. But I started September 22nd really going full force at it and doing it every day.
I love that you have an anniversary for this. Let's continue to celebrate this, and we'll go out for like coffee or tea on that day. I think I'm really into it. I like it.
Absolutely.
But anyway, girl, well, do you have any more last minute things that you'd like to say, or anything like, I don't know, maybe even just like a review of the package, or any last minute words of advice you'd want to give to anybody, however you'd want to kind of sign off? Because I think right now all their questions are just kind of aimed at me. So I don't want to keep you any longer than what you need to be. You've already been very kind.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I mean, yes, I feel like the success that I've received is like just the review in itself, you know, like I've gotten so much knowledge out of this, and it's just so comforting and reassuring just to have someone kind of be in your corner and cheer you on throughout the whole process. And I also, for anybody, because I know I keep reiterating this, but I was someone who had so many doubts. So I just want to say, if anybody in the live stream is still in that position, like, not, trying to push you to get coaching, but at least pushing you to show up for yourself, to at least watch her free teachings like I started with, and then, maybe work your way up if you feel comfortable, because this work is so powerful. And I really hope that more people can, and you're kind of doing God's work, as people like to say to you. Like, you've been so gracious enough to do all of these free teachings, and all of your, like, I've seen your calendar that you posted on your story. Like, you have so many calls every day. So I just wanted to extend my gratitude to you again for not just being a great coach, but a great friend. And and thank you to everyone who chimed in also and listened.
Yeah, listen, I appreciate it. I appreciate you appreciating me. I definitely try to show up for my people each and every single day to the best of my ability. And hearing any type of appreciation always makes me feel really good about myself. Like, okay, people are receiving it. People are enjoying it. People are really like jiving with it. And it gives you that kind of gas in the tank to keep going and to keep pushing as well. So I definitely appreciate your appreciation. It is very much appreciated.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on, and I hope everyone has a good day.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later, hun.
All right, talk soon.
Okie dokie. So, how are we feeling about this? How are we feeling? Are these manifestations more specific, or does it all kind of flood in once the formula is equated? So the thing is, what you technically said was the same statement twice. The formula, the manifestation equation, is like the specificities of what's off. Because if in the law of assumption, we only have to change our assumption, and then in the words of Neville Goddard, receive what it is that we want, the only time that is actualized, once again in the words of Neville Goddard, is the time it takes for you to form the assumption. So if that's the situation, it makes a lot of sense that when we are actually capable of finding out and problem solving and reverse engineering, which makes a lot of sense to my overthinking logical mind, where am I not on board? Where am I not sold on my assumptions? Where am I still letting my doubts, my fears, my worries, concerns, my negative narratives get in the way? I now actually have the answer key to the test being my manifestation. I actually have the answer key. Because if I have a problem, if I'm sitting here, just as an example, pardon me, and if I'm saying to myself, can I have something to drink, honey? Like, do we have Sprite or something? Because my throat is going out again. I'm so sorry. Just trying to regain my thoughts. Let's pretend like I'm a student, okay, and I'm not the coach, and I'm having a problem with being chosen, and I sit here and I'm like, okay, well, I'm beautiful, I'm loved, I'm amazing, and maybe I already know that, and I find that a big part of the problem is people aren't actually hitting the areas that is actually gone wrong. I'll take that. There's no energy in it, right? Just put it in a cup.
It's energy.
Okay.
No, we don't want that.
Just put it in a cup, whatever you end up finding. Or maybe I'll just take a turmeric tea.
Okay, you want that?
I don't know. I kind of want something cold, but it's up to you. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm also still recovering, so bear with me, please. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just not feeling my best, but just also trying to show up for you guys. Being in a situation where once I problem solve where I'm not fully on board, it makes a lot of sense that if I want to get results I've never gotten before, I've got to pour into the areas of either my self-conception or the conception of my person, place, or thing that is off to be able to unlock that. So hopefully that made sense and kind of like answered your question. This girl was awesome. She really, really was. I was just going to ask, did she ever waver? She did waver at some points in time. She did. But, you need that accountability partner. I saw somebody mention down in the comments, I don't know where it went. She was like, I need an accountability coach. I thought that was cute. My self-concept is so good, and I want to scream of happiness and gratitude. You're a goddess, Persis. I'm the next one. You are. You're going to be on this live next. Many people, you guys got to understand, the key to being successful in this work, and it's funny because my own mentor gave me this pep talk today. The key to being successful in manifestation, Ma, what did my golden girl say? It doesn't matter if something is wavering over here. We've got to be able to stay true to ourselves.
Yeah, see if it's flat. If not, I'll make you some tea.
Okay.
I think it's flat.
What is this?
Mountain Dew.
Oh my God. What are you trying to kill me?
Oh my God.
Mountain Dew. Who gives that to somebody with a sore throat? What, are you trying to give me acid? You've really been the most solid teacher I've come across, and I've sifted through so many. Thank you. That is a very nice thing to say. If my limiting belief is I can't make money unless I get another job, how do I counteract it? All right, here we go. The coughing is going to start to come. This is literally what I'm doing in my Dissolve Your Money Blockages course. And this is literally what my money manifestation success stories did. What people don't always understand is how money is or is not showing up for you is a direct reflection of your own subconscious beliefs as to whether or not you think it's available for you. So I'll give you an example. If I don't think I can get money unless I work, that is a limiting belief. That is a blockage. And once I unclog that drain, it's going to start to flow. But right now, it's completely choked up and it's not capable of flowing. Your money life, your relationship with money is a direct impact on the stories you run on money in your head on loop. What are the stories you're telling yourself about how money is unavailable, how I have to work hard, how it's not possible for me? These are the reasons that pipe is choked up. This is what's causing you to overwork yourself to the bone in money. And in this How to Dissolve Money Blockages course, like this little mini workshop that you guys requested, this is what I'm going over. I'm teaching you guys my blueprint at a different level of depth. And we are problem solving this garbage. We are problem solving it and getting to the bottom of it. Did you unclog with EFT tapping? I did. Pardon me, I did. Tomorrow I actually have another live in my Persistence of Resistance group, which is my EFT tapping group. Persis, I have an update. So I manifested my SP to quit drinking, and I manifested a trip to San Francisco that we had canceled. Okay, is there another chat? So sorry. Oopsies, it just jumped. I love that you manifested him to be healthier and to quit drinking. Lila is another beautiful example of someone who has had incredible results with these types of teachings, like literally incredible. Lila, you should also come on and do a interview. That would be really, really nice. You were here since my baby days. You were here since like baby Persis. I love that. I love your videos. Thank you. I love your content. Best manifesting expert on this app. All right. Nice. I like that. Persis, please reiterate that you invest in yourself and expanding your knowledge. I do. So I definitely, Lila, so much success. I'd love to. Yeah. Why don't you email me? Why don't you email me and let's set that up? My email is on my website. It's just manifestingwithpersis@gmail.com. That would be so fun because you've been here since my baby days. Oh my gosh. I'd love to hear a catch-up story from you. And I know Jasmine wants to come on as well and do like a re-catch-up of her success with her husband. And let me know if you guys enjoy these types of successes. I feel like they just get the vibe going. They just get the mood going. But I do, to reiterate what Monique is mentioning, I do invest in myself tremendously. I always am working from sun up to sundown, investing in different courses for myself, trying to become a better teacher, trying to become a better leader, trying to become a better authoritarian in this community to put out the most fact-checked, accurate manifestation teachings that we have on any freaking platform. Because this work is what I'm just obsessed with. This work is just literally what I think about from sun up to sundown. I read countless books on it. I attend countless lectures on it. I'm so in this game. It's unreal. My day literally goes from calls to text messages to learning. This is my whole world. This is like literally what I've devoted myself to do.
And that's why we're trying to take some of the pressure off of you.
True. And here is Mom over here interjecting for those of you guys who may know Mom from some of my lives or want to ask Mom some questions. Mom also has some coaching packages that have recently become available, as does Dad. Texting and calls or combination for anybody that may need some more affordable coaching. They could be a great supplement to that. Your boy Lewis with his $50,000 months and our girl Carly with Dad, they're doing amazing, incredible things.
Aurora also.
Yeah.
Is that her? No, that's not her.
Which one?
Aurora
also, yeah. The stories are great. The Carfax is always welcomed, yes. So here's a question for Mom. Can you give an example of how to get rid of a third party? Third party in-law. Third party. Oh, somebody got something. Oh, somebody got the money course. Oh, that's so nice. I'm so excited to teach the money course. I want to teach people how to get a bag, bro. I want to teach you how to do money. I want to teach you. I'm so sorry. Your manifestation worked for me on Halloween. Oh my goodness, I love it. And I did a spooky Q&A also because of my birthday. I just love it. Who's the other manifestation coach you always talk about? Simply Something. I feel like people are going to feel like simple manifesting.
Are you talking about your girl?
No, I'm talking about not my girl. No. I'm talking about Tone.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's nice. He's a sweetheart. He's a very funny, lighthearted guy. His page is very fun. I have said before, I made a statement that like I will not recommend other coaches unless I know them personally or like, have seen their content and I fully believe in everything. And I think Tone is one of those people where it's like I believe in pretty much everything he says. And he's also like, I'm privileged to know him in some capacity just over the internet.
Tone gave you some really good advice today when people were being Debbie Downers.
Yeah, and he's just a good guy. I have the privilege to be able to chat with him every now and then due to our very, very hectic schedules. And he's a sweetheart. So how do we, I'm so sorry, your question.
My question?
Can you give one example on how to get rid of a third party? I think you're saying third party, or are you saying third party in law? I don't even know what that means, if that's the case. I have, she's so far had no results with removing a third party. So what is your advice on third parties and how to get rid of them?
So we have to what is our concept of ourself?
Correct.
So if our concept of ourself is not where we want it to be, and we're not feeling loved or wanted or chosen, that's why there's a third party out in the universe, because we think we're not good enough.
Right.
We think we're not loved. We think we're not chosen.
Right.
That's why there's a 3P.
Right. So Mom said that very elegantly, and I'm going to restate it again. Think of it this way, and I've said this so many times, I sometimes feel like I feel self-conscious for repeating it, so hopefully...
You said it only 10,000 times.
I've only said it 10,000 times, so I apologize if anybody gets offended at my redundancy. A third party is a definition of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen. Now, you can have one or all three of those wounds in your self-concept gap. But in my humble opinion, I don't think there's a more eloquent way to articulate a third party other than these three problems.
I'm not pretty.
Could also be attractiveness, could also be a big part of it.
I don't like my, the way I look.
Right, appearance.
Yeah.
And in that process, what happens is once you take each one of those down one by one, the person goes
bye-bye.
Poof.
Bye-bye, like magic.
Poof. They go bye-bye.
Do they know your dad's a magician?
They do not know my dad's a magician. They go poof. They go bye-bye birdie. And in that type of situation, what do we normally do when we have something we don't want?
We're going to fixate on that.
We're just going to fixate on it. We're just going to look at it all day. We're going to be like, oh my gosh, there's a third party here. You know, like similar to the SP. Oh, somebody got the King and Queen package.
That's so nice.
So nice. And the money course. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this freaking money course. I'm
going to be your first client, okay? I can't even be your first client now.
Well, you can.
I cannot because people already bought it.
Oh, that's true also. We cannot be in a situation where we put the focus on it. So as it pertains to a third party, it's a very mind warping thing to think that the ability for someone else to choose me is dependent on me being able to choose myself first.
You gotta fix your self-concept.
But the thing is, if we don't have value in ourselves, people can't show up for us. What I need you to so desperately understand, and this is just something that it's a universal thing, guys, because this is just law. When you love yourself, that makes your love life 10 times better. Think about individuals who are maybe even in relationships and they don't even like themselves. What's the point of having a partner that is not completely obsessed with you, that is not completely head over heels in love with you? There's literally no point.
Are you having a partner just for shits and giggles?
There are people out here having partners for shits and giggles.
No.
I don't even understand that. No. Mom's like, no. Mom's in your corner. She's like, no.
No, that's not
Cut
how it
it.
works.
That's not how it works.
You don't love yourself. Why are you having a partner?
At the end of the day, you guys have to understand how you treat yourself and how you love yourself and how you show up for yourself directly impacts how other people perceive you, how other people show up for you, how other people commit to you. This is how love manifestation works. This is how it works.
Do I have to give this child coaching?
You're going to need to.
I mean, she's going to need help, it looks like.
Self-love is literally the key to getting 90% of what you want, and I'm going to prove it to you. And all the people that I work with, I'm supposed to be sipping tea right now, and I'm not doing anything. Great. In my manifestation equation, I talk about how in everybody's case, okay, all 600 of them, they had one of two problems. Now, I want you to ask me, Persis, what were the two problems? Okay, why don't you guys comment that while I sip on my tea? People had one of two problems, okay? Ask me what the problems were. I'm going to tell you the answer. I don't understand what the problem with this tea is. This is perfectly fine. Why are you complaining about drinking this tea?
I haven't even tried it.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, it's very nice.
Sure.
What is your problem, bro?
I haven't had enough turmeric in my last 2 days.
What were the problems? Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for humoring me.
Is that your girl? Dad's girl?
No, that's a different girl. These were the problems. These were the problems. The problems were, and this is for all of them, I'm just literally putting everybody that's ever worked with me or gotten success into one mass pile. I'll tell you the key to what their problems were. Oh, now it's Nicole. Now Nicole's here. That's Dad's girl. Mm-hmm. Hi, Nicole. So the problem was either one, they placed the entirety of their self-worth as it pertained to money, health, love, or person onto the other item, like the other thing, right? And the other thing is that their problem was the conception of the person, place, or thing that they were manifesting. So stick with me. I'm going to use this as it pertains to love because that's so many different people. Once people unlock the self-concept, okay, which is where 90% of people are stuck, they have this pipe over here that's essentially completely clogged, completely choked. And it makes a lot of logical sense that their entire manifestation unlocks when they do that work. When they do that self-concept, self-love work, that pipe becomes unclogged and the entire manifestation completely blows through it. And it bursts through like a dam, and the entire manifestation gets solved just by them focusing on that one thing. The other side of the problem could be for some individuals was their problem wasn't really their self-concept, or their problem might have been that a little bit, but it was mainly the conception of person. Like either the fact that this person can't do it, or men are garbage, or women are trash, or something of that nature. And when that pipe became unchoked, the entire manifestation broke through. And then there was that exclusive amount of individuals where the problem was for both of them. So there were some people that, like I said before, the entire manifestation unlocked doing only self-concept, or the entire manifestation unlocked only doing specific person or object of desire work. And then there were some individuals that needed both. So understanding that, going forward, that is precisely how I've catered my entire offers all over my website, is because what I've come to learn is that it's either side of the fence is the problem, or it could be both. But when both are firing on all cylinders, God help anybody standing in this manifestation's way. God help anybody. Because once these two sides of the equation are on blast, there is not a prayer to anybody's name that's going to stop this manifestation from happening. The problem is getting you guys on board with believing in the unseen and being the person that you need to be to get this manifestation. So from here on out, what I've decided to do in my group programs, in my courses, and in my teachings in general is my How to Manifest Love Through Self-Concept course has been completely reinvented. It's only going to do self-concept and self-love for 6 weeks. That is kicking off in December. Now, there were a crap ton of people that doing that course got men to come out of the woodwork, that got exes to come back, that got different things happen for them. But it wasn't as long or as extensive as it needed to be to help people support them on that journey. So now what I'm doing is How to Manifest Love Through Self-Concept is literally going to be a self-concept exclusive course for 6 weeks. We're going to have our own sessions devoted strictly to Q&A, and we're going to have situations where I teach you the top to bottom of self-concept. And if your problem is, I don't feel good enough, I don't feel worthy, I don't feel special, I don't feel chosen, I don't feel pretty, this is the solution to that problem. And it's very well could be the case that if you do that course, your manifestation has the capacity to unlock, if that's your gap. Now, how many people in this chat feel like they know where their gap is? Is the gap self-concept, or is the gap conception of person? Let me know in the comments.
That's a good point.
And then the other course, just to continue with my statement, is going to be the How to Get Them Obsessed with You, which is going to be the other side of the fence. It's going to be essentially the other person, changing the conception of that other person. And when you change the conception of the other person, it could very well be the entire thing bursts open. So it's funny, a lot of people are saying a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both, and that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. So the How to Manifest Love Through Self-Concept is going to be 6 weeks, a full self-concept dive. complete self-concept, self-love renewal. I'm going to be there for you for 6 weeks, teaching you how to love yourself, how to do a proper self-concept plan, giving you affirmations, and giving you a daily manifestation routine. And a bonus for people that are in that course is that everybody gets a free custom workbook as being part of the course, and they get weekly homework to work on. They also get the perks and benefits of having private Q&A sessions with me, where I will be going over and answering everybody's question. The course that will come directly after that, because self-concept has to come first, because in the words of the great Neville Goddard, we must change self, and then we can have our desires.
Absolutely.
The course that will be coming directly after that is actually strategically timed to finish just before Valentine's Day. And of course, coming into the holidays, everybody wants their partner. So for anybody who may be interested in these upcoming courses, these are very powerful. Now, the How to Get Them Obsessed With You course is exclusively then devoted just to the conception of person. That way, I found that if I put them both in separate boxes, I can give them both their own respective time, and I don't have to feel like I'm racing against the clock to get all this information out. So 6 weeks for self-concept, 4 weeks for conception of person. And that also has its own custom workbook, that also has its own Q&A sessions, and that also has the same teachings. So that was a mouthful. But essentially, what I have come to learn in this incredibly long explanation is your entire manifestation is dependent on where are your assumptions out of alignment. And how can we get them back into alignment? And how can we recenter you into the identity of being the person that has what it is that they want? Because that person presents in the world differently than somebody else that's not being that person. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Do you have anything you want to mention?
No, I think you've pretty much taken the floor.
I have taken the floor.
No,
I feel
okay.
bad.
That's okay. There's always another time.
Does anybody have any more questions? Or questions about the course, or questions for mom, or questions about coaching, or questions about anything? I've kind of really gone on a tangent here, guys. And I'm afraid about how long this live is going to be. But hopefully it's a good one, because it has a lot of gems in it. How do I not react?
How do you not react?
Like looking at your 3D. Honestly, my answer is just like relentless refocusing. Like, because that's kind of literally what we just mentioned.
Yeah, don't you have to like keep you have to keep your eye on the prize?
Eye on the prize. Literally eye on the prize.
We're looking at the news story.
If this is your new story and this is your old story, and your old story is coming out to play ball with you, you've got to be able to go like,
this is my new story.
and every time this comes up, and even if you try to go over here, you got to be like that.
Nope. New story.
And then every time this comes up, and then you want to go out again, you got to go.
Refocusing.
You got to refocus. It's relentless refocusing. If you want the course, it is located on the website. Oopsies. I don't know what happened. My little thing just jumped a little bit. I don't know where my comments went. But yeah, this has been essentially, after running the course, the new adaptation of how it's going to be from here on out. Because what I realized within that course is that we were just conquering way too much in such a short period of time. And we really just need to do self-concept by itself and specific person by itself. Do self-concept for 6 weeks, do specific person for 4 weeks, and then it's like a very immersive experience. And I don't have to just keep running, trying to get the next thing out of my mouth to be able to complete everything in such a short period of time. I think once you accept you create your reality, it's easier to handle the 3D. It is. It is a whole heck of a lot easier. A heck of a lot easier. I love that, Karina. All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this live. It will be repurposed over on YouTube. And for anybody who would like to sign up for it, we've had a couple of signups just even while we were speaking. I really do hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next live. So when would we have to purchase this new course? You would have until it starts. And then if anybody joined after it started, I'm considering of doing one of two things for future protection purposes. Either just knowing that if you're joining later, that you may not benefit from the full perks and benefits of me being live, or just shutting it down, and then maybe after it's over, people can buy it at a discounted rate. But that is what I'm planning on doing. I love you guys very much. Have a good evening, and we will talk soon.